My name is Scott McCormick. I'm an author. I write children's books, and I'm posting my second video for tips for narrators on how to get more gigs. This one's going to be about auditions. I did the last one about demos, so check that out if you can. Again, like I said last time, all these tips come from a place of love. I'm just trying to help people get more gigs and produce better, in this case, better auditions. So I will do another video for tips for authors because we can do better as well. So this is not a one-sided conversation here. Okay, so tips for auditions, how to do auditions that are going to land you the gig. Number one, read the brief. It sounds like the most obvious thing in the world, but I have been surprised so many times at people who just clearly didn't read the notes that I put in there. Asking, like, for the last book I did was The Crudge Whacker, which is a young adult fantasy. I specifically said I need people with British accents and a range of British accents, and I had a whole bunch of American narrators submit auditions using American accents, and I was just like, if you didn't read the brief, like, I don't know what to tell you, like, you're just not gonna get the gig. And then it sounds harsh, but like, I need what I need. Every author needs what they need, and like, just read the brief, find out if you can do it, and give them what they ask for. It's really going to help you. If you don't, you're just not going to get the gig. So it sounds harsh, but it's the reality of the situation. Number two, ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to us. And there's three truths in this world: death, taxes, and authors love to talk about their books. So you're not bothering us. Ask us. Say, hey, I was thinking about doing this. Is that at all in line with what you're looking for? I even have one guy that just simply asked me if I was still hiring for a gig. And it was a fair question because it had been on ACX. This is for my new book, Gazoon Heist. I had the posting up for like 2 weeks. And I hadn't found somebody that I wanted. So he reached out, hey, are you still hiring for this? And then I offered the guy a tip. I was like, hey, the reason I haven't hired anybody is I'm looking for this and no one's given me this. If you can give me this, you got the gig. And he gave me a really good demo. I wound up hiring another guy, but he was super good, only because I liked the other guy better. But he was on a short list of 3 people. So like, it's going to help. And the other thing is that if you ask an author questions, they're going to be looking for your name to show up when you submit the audition. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. Number 3, your your audition has to sound good. Again, just like with the demos, it's got to meet ACX standards. This wasn't a huge problem, but I did have a handful of demos that it just sounded terrible. It sounded like someone was recording through like their computer microphone. You're just not going to get the gig. So I know it's hard. I know you got to produce a bunch of these things to even land one gig. I get it. And I know that it's expensive to get this equipment and and there's a lot of know-how that goes into producing, but like, if you can't do it, you're just not going to get the gig. So number 4, don't make mistakes in your audition. Like, I feel like that should be kind of obvious, but this was much more of a problem on the voices.com demo auditions that I got, not the ACX, which is weird because the ACX audition script was a lot longer, which is something I'm going to come back to for authors. But for ACX, it was just a paragraph long, like 100 words, if that. And literally a quarter of the auditions that I got, people made mistakes. I have one guy that made a mistake in the first sentence. And I'm not like super nitpicky. I'm not William Shakespeare. Like, I'm not super precious with my words. Like, if we did a book, I think my last book there, the guy made a couple mistakes. I didn't care. I was like, whatever. Yeah, it's cool. It didn't change the meaning of the sentence dramatically. So whatever, just roll with it. Like, I don't care. But dude, if you're getting the audition wrong, you're just not going to get the gig. And I had a couple guys who had cool deliveries, like good acting, good voices, whatever, and they messed up the words. So it's just like, if you're messing up in the first 100 words of the book, all I'm thinking of is you're just going to be a headache to deal with. Like, I'm just going to have to be having to redo everything. So don't make mistakes. This is a bonus tip. This is for voices.com narrators specifically. When you are submitting an audition on Voices, you are also submitting a quote, unlike on ACX. And my tip is have that be the actual quote that you're going to do the project for. I ran into an issue with this. Like I hired a guy on Voices, and he was going to do it, according to his quote, it was going to be for X amount of money. I hired the guy, I sent him everything he needed. And then he was like, yeah, I'm super excited to do this, except we need to talk about money. And he wanted basically double what he originally asked for. And I'm like, man, you're worth it. You're worth that money. I can't afford that. And you're the one that gave me the quote. Like, had you asked for a little bit more money, I would have done it. But like double, I don't know. It felt like a bit of a bait and switch. His reasoning was that he's like, dude, I have to apply for so many of these things just to land a single one. And I get it. I know that the competition's fierce. I know it's hard. My heart goes out to you. It really does. But he said, like, I don't have time to read the brief. And this comes back to the read the brief thing. Like, dude, I'm sorry. I just can't afford double the money. And then I'm out. So, I had to pay Voices up front. They're going to refund the money, but it takes like 7 to 10 business days. Now, thankfully, I'm still gonna be able to pay my rent this month. I can wait the 7 to 10 days to get it back, but I don't know that every author can. And I'm not gonna, I parted ways with that guy. I hired someone else. I'm also not gonna hire that guy again, even though he's really talented. And I said to him, I was like, you're really talented. I look forward to hearing one of your books, but it's not gonna work out. So yeah, make sure your quote is actually what you can do the job for. I know that Voices allows you to haggle. And I get it. Like if you get the script and it's longer than the post says that it was going to be or whatever, like I get, like there should be some room for haggling, but not double. That's all the tips I got for auditions. I'm going to do another one for authors on how we can do better at posts. But anyway, for all you narrators out there, good luck. I hope this helps. Again, this comes from a place of love. I want you to get more gigs. And, if you disagree with anything that I said, or you agree, or you have any reaction whatsoever, leave a comment in the comments below. Thanks.